welcome to our first all-girl Sports Mecca. I'm Elaina Emery alongside DJ Thompson for her debut. How you feeling?
Feeling great, Elaina.
Good. Well, we're happy to have you here, so let's get started. To start off, let's talk about the big news in college basketball, Tyler Summit. The son of our beloved Pat Summit, he has actually resigned from his women's head coaching job at Louisiana Tech after allegations of an inappropriate relationship with a player. There was some talk about him coming to coach to Tennessee eventually, but now that that's no longer an option, he kind of let the Vol fans down. Tell me what you think about this situation.
You know, Elaina, first of all, he left Louisiana Tech with a losing record of 30-31. And quite honestly, I have zero tolerance for allegations like these. Infidelity of any sort, no tolerance for it. And to bring someone like that to our program, I don't think it would bear any fruit. It wouldn't be fruitful at all. I don't want to see him here. I don't think he would add anything to this program. And quite frankly, I think he's a disgrace to someone like his mom. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So now that we've touched on that, let's move on to something a little bit more exciting. The orange and white game is this Saturday, and I love that we get to talk about football again. A little news, Jalen Reeves-Maven is out for the game. He is expected to be back in June due to an injury. What do you think this means for the spring game since he's out?
You know, I think they're definitely going to be, they might be hurting for that loss, but Butch has been very confident in generating a pass rush game. Their defense is solid. They need some improvement in their passing game, but you got seniors like Cam Sutton, who turned down an opportunity to enter the NFL draft for the sole purpose of having one last year to lead his boys on a Rocky Top. And I know it's a Rocky Top cliche to say this is our year, but with over 10 four-star recruits this year, they're going to be absolutely lethal in the SEC.
I feel it. I think it is our year. I'm so excited to see what happens. And, you know, Jones typically uses his orange and white game just as like a practice. So it's really hard to say that to base a whole season off of just the orange and white game. So we'll just have to see what happens. But I'm excited. It's going to be fun. So in other news, Jason Kroom is a redshirt senior, and he returns to the field after an injury last year. Now as a tight end. He was a receiver, but he's coming back. He asked Coach Jones to try tight end, and he's worked really hard to make a full recovery, so he says that this is better for his body. It fits better, so hopefully his hard work in the offseason has paid off, and I'm excited to see what he does at tight end. Moving on to a little bit of baseball. Baseball played Morehead State last week, and it was a little bit too close for comfort. This is the last play of the game. It was 5-5 in the 8th inning. UT scored a run, and then Morehead was up to bat. As you see, the catcher got the runner out at home to end the game. In the 7th inning, the Morehead State coach actually got ejected. So it was a pretty dramatic game, I would say, but it didn't hinder them in any way. They came back the next series against South Carolina and swept them, so they didn't let their momentum drop at all after a really close game. Coming up this weekend, they'll go to Auburn and play their series. So what are you hoping to see when they go to Auburn this weekend?
You know, you got juniors like Jordan Rogers, who's leading the SEC right now, and the NCAA, with 50 RBIs and batting .310 on the season. I want to see him deliver a stellar performance against Auburn, and it's going to take guys like him to really step up and deliver. And, you know, we can't be giving Auburn these opportunities with bases loaded and 2 outs. So close calls like that we can't really afford, so I'm expecting the seniors and juniors, the upperclassmen, to really step up.
Definitely, totally agree. So after this short break, we're talking pro baseball and the Masters. We'll be right back.
The authority on the origins and composition of meteorites and scientist on the first spacecraft missions to Mars is one person, Dr. Hap McSween, distinguished professor at the University of Tennessee. A rock flying through space is also a specialty of Tennessee alum R.A. Dickey, big league knuckleballer and best-selling author. At UT, we appreciate and encourage unique and creative minds.
The University of Tennessee. Big Orange, big ideas.
My favorite part about being a Vol and being a part of the Vol family is that we're one Tennessee.
Being from Tennessee and being able to go to school at the University of Tennessee was an honor for me.
My scholarship means so much to me. It's really a blessing.
My message to the Tennessee Fund donors would be just to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to pursue my dreams.
We appreciate everything that you guys do for us.
Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me and my teammates.
Vol fans, there's one penalty that is not reviewable.
Where's your orange? It's Friday.
And you're not wearing orange.
You gonna really come out here with no orange on?
Do not forget to support your Vols by wearing your orange on Fridays.
Got to be kidding me.
Show us your orange and avoid getting a penalty flag thrown your way on Big Orange Friday.
Welcome back. I'm Elaina Emery with DJ Thompson. We're going to talk a little bit about Lady Vols softball. We don't usually get to talk softball, so this will be fun. Last week, softball swept Texas A&M at home. It was 11-0 shutout, and it was a huge win for the Lady Vols. Here you see Rainey Gaffin was 3 for 3 and had 6 RBI. You see her celebrating her grand slam, and it was an incredible performance. What do you think about this game?
I think it was huge. You have number 7 Tennessee going against number 10 Texas A&M, and that's a huge leap right there to get that sweep. And two faces to really be on the lookout for are freshmen Aubrey Leach and Brooke Vines. These two are batting 1 and 2 in the order and went for a combined 7 for 8 with 5 runs and 5 RBIs in the afternoon. So those guys are hot right now, and they're really making some statements for the freshmen.
Yeah, I hope that they can keep their undefeated season going at home. So we'll have to see. All right. Let's move on from college and talk a little bit pro baseball. Let's start with my hometown, the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are having a little rocky start to the season. They are 0 for 6 since the first time since 1988. And only 3 major clubs have made it to the postseason with starting 0 and 6. So that's Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Tampa Bay. Looking at the team, I'm not really worried about the offensive side of things. I think they can hit just fine, but I'm worried about the infield. We need to do something, or we need to get something out of Eric Abar, or else we're in trouble. That's what I'm really hoping, that he can step up, he can get the job done, or else the Braves are in a lot of trouble. Yes. I am from Atlanta, and I'm not even a Braves fan, so I think that says a lot. But let's talk about your hometown, the Los Angeles Dodgers. What are you looking forward to in the Dodgers?
Going into this season, I was worried. I'm not gonna lie. We lost Greinke to the Diamondbacks of all teams.
Yep.
But I have a lot of faith in Kershaw this year, obviously. And you look at up-and-coming players like Corey Seager. The guy is an anomaly. I mean, he's 21. Was National League Rookie of the Year and an all-time favorite amongst baseball's top prospects. And he's really shining for the Dodgers right now. Incredibly gifted on the infield and batting. He's just absolutely incredible. And something I think that's so cool about the Seager family is you have Corey, the youngest brother, then you have the middle brother, Justin Seager, who actually plays first and third for the Seattle's AA farm system in Jackson, Tennessee. And then you have Kyle Seager, the eldest brother, who's 28 and is a third baseman for the Seattle Mariners, who went in the 12th round of the 2013 first player draft. So, I don't know, I love seeing families like this, absolute dynasties, and the athletic gene clearly got distributed well between them.
That's for sure.
And it's just refreshing to see young players like Corey Seager exhibit such humility despite his phenomenal abilities and athletic prowess. So I'm excited for this season, to say the least.
I'm actually a huge Dodgers fan, so that's something that we have in common, and it's going to be a good season. I'm excited to see what the team can do. So moving on, let's talk about David Ortiz in his final Fenway opener. This was his 14th Fenway opener, and some memorable moments is that he had a walk-off home run in Game 4 of the 2004 American League Championship against rival New York Yankees, and he also had a grand slam in Game 2 of the 2013 ALSC game against the Detroit Tigers. So what do you think that his retirement means to the game, since he is such a key component to the Red Sox?
He's been a pretty prolific player for Boston. He's kind of the backbone of that team, but I think they have a lot of depth, and I think it's time. I think it's time for him to move on. He's played his piece, and I'm excited for him to kind of be able to live his life aside from baseball for once.
Yeah, definitely. So now let's talk about the Rockies shortstop, Jose Reyes. He had abuse charges against him. They were dropped eventually. However, this is a common trend among professional athletes now, and I feel like it's become something normal and something that we don't realize is as an issue. Why do you think we keep seeing this trend among professional athletes, and is it an issue?
Oh, it's absolutely an issue, and it's interesting. You don't see this as often in the MLB. You're hearing about this in the NFL predominantly. But these players, they're role models for kids, and there should be zero tolerance for behavior like this, and I think suspension is absolutely imperative. We can't let things like this slide under the table, but these franchises should not be condoning behavior like this whatsoever. So.
Definitely, and I think that they're affecting their audience too. I mean, they're role models, and they have a bunch of people looking up to them, and I think that it sends a bad message when charges are dropped, or that they even have charges against them in the first place. And this doesn't just happen to MLB or NFL players. We also saw it with soccer players like Abby Wambach, and it's a big issue that needs to be addressed, I think. We can't just let it slide under the radar. So in other news, Saints player Will Smith was shot in New Orleans after a confrontation with another driver. It's never easy to hear news like this, so we're sending our condolences to his family and his team. Other big news in the world, the Masters, the huge upset this weekend. Jordan Spieth choked on the 12th hole. He had a 5-stroke lead and then was down by 3 at the end of the 12th hole. Spieth was on a roll from the beginning of the game, shooting 6 and under in the first round. But somehow Danny Willett came on in clutch on the 12th hole. He was under in round 2 and came back round 4 to be 5 under, and he just took the lead from Jordan Spieth. So when we come back, we're talking Kobe, so you don't want to miss it.
My favorite part about being involved and being a part of the Vol family is that we're one Tennessee.
Being from Tennessee and being able to go to school at the University of Tennessee was an honor for me.
My scholarship means so much to me. It's really a blessing.
My message to the Tennessee Fund donors would be just to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to pursue my dreams.
We appreciate everything that you guys do for us.
Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me and my teammates.
Vol fans, there's one penalty that is not reviewable.
Where's your orange? It's Friday.
And you're not wearing orange.
You gonna really come out here with no orange on?
Do not forget to support your Vols by wearing your orange on Fridays.
Got to be kidding me.
Show us your orange and avoid getting a penalty flag thrown your way on Big Orange Friday.
Come on, man.
Big orange is our color. Big ideas feed the fire of the volunteer. When you see 16 million colors on a computer screen, understand a Tennessee graduate helped put them there. A Tennessee graduate made it possible for you to hold a conversation with a satellite in the palm of your hand. Our ideas touch your life in ways you can't imagine. Orange is simply a color. Big orange is a way of life.
The University of Tennessee. Big orange, big ideas.
Welcome back to Sports Mecca. I'm DJ Thompson here with Elaina Emery. Tonight, huge night, we have the Golden State Warriors taking on the Memphis Grizzlies, and they have the chance of surpassing the 95-96 Chicago Bulls in order to get their 73rd win. They have an opportunity to make history tonight.
They sure do.
Huge night in sports, and not to mention, we have Kobe Bryant's final game of his career. Kind of an emotional night for
Definitely
faces all across America.
I mean, what do you watch? Do you watch the Warriors or do you watch Kobe? How do you decide what's the most important game?
You got your laptop right here and you got your TV right
yeah,
here.
Perfect. So the Grizzlies are 42-38 and 6th in the Western Conference. Hopefully this is an easy win for the Warriors so that they can beat the record. I'm hoping that they can do it. I think this is crazy history that we're going to see tonight. Either way, it's going to be an amazing night because we have Kobe retiring, such a legend. So it'll be a fun night, definitely.
All right, now we're going to do a little compare and contrast between the two. We got Steph Curry and we got the Black Mamba. So we're going to take a look at a clip of Steph Curry, kind of analyze, break down his shot a little bit. So let's bring it down. Look at this shot.
Incredible.
I mean, from his frame,
from
that tiny frame, how he is able to propel the ball that far, I don't understand.
It's incredible. And, you know, when you compare Kobe to Steph, it's hard to compare. They're like apples and oranges, really. So you have Kobe, who's been steady for so long, and now you have Steph that's just on fire. Let's take a look at some of Kobe's shots, too, because I think we need to give some credit to him, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here he goes.
Scrambling.
Incredible recover. Look at that. He flies through the air.
You don't see Steph Curry doing that as often. I mean, his jump shot's incredible, but Kobe's versatility is just unbelievable. He's an athlete.
That's so true. It's so true. And when you compare the two stats, like obviously Kobe is more impressive, but I don't think that Steph has had the time to really build up his stats yet. He's an amazing player, and I think that if he continues on the track that he has been going on, I think that he one day could be as great as Kobe. I definitely think that he's on that track. What do you think?
Personally, if we're going to approach this from a statistical point of view, like let's just look at the cold hard facts. We have Steph Curry, who has held the record for the most three-pointers within a season for the past 3 years. He's one game away from leading his team to gaining the coveted title of the most games won within a season. He is been the MVP for 2 consecutive years. He is the NBA regular season record for most three-pointers. He also has the NBA record for most three-pointers made within a single game. And then you have Kobe, who 5-time NBA champion. He's a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. Most seasons played for an NBA franchise, 20. The only player in NBA history with more than 30,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, and 6,000 assists.
That's insane.
He's also the youngest player to ever start a game at 18 years and 51 days. And I don't know if you remember this game, but this guy scored 81 points against the Raptors in 2006. Yeah. Like, who does that?
Insane. Incredible. I feel like that's not possible. The way that I look at it is I compare Steph to a Tesla. He is super hot right now. Everybody wants him. Everybody's obsessed with him. But then Kobe is kind of the Corvette. He's really steady and really reliable. So that's how I kind of imagine the two of them. So I think that one day Steph will be a Kobe.
They probably own a few Teslas too. So.
Probably. That's probably true. So what do you think is next for Kobe?
What is next? Well, you look at legends like Michael Jordan, who even admitted to going through some post-retirement depression even, and these athletes they dedicate their entire lives to this sport, and it's almost as if they hit an identity crisis. And the transition's hard, regardless of how many Ferraris you own or how many 80-inch plasmas you have in your home. That transition's going to be hard. And Kobe, he's always been a competitor. It's in his blood, and I don't know if I can see him sitting behind a desk unable to partake in the action. His experience, his acumen, his knowledge of the game, his respected presence, I think all that would contribute into making him a phenomenal coach. So it's hard to tell right now, but whatever he does, he's going to pursue it with excellence. So
it's very obvious that he still has a passion for the sport. I don't think that has gone away at all. And I definitely agree with you that he can't just sit around and do nothing. Like you said, his stats, he has won 5 NBA championships over a 20-year career. And I think that he's known for a while that his time was coming. I mean, you can't argue with your body. When it's telling you to stop, it's time to stop. Right. So I don't think that you can argue with it. But whatever he does, he's going to be great at. I don't think he needs to do anything for a while. I think he can take a break, relax a little. Yeah. But I think he's going to do great at whatever he does next. So it'll be exciting to see.
And I think it's interesting. We have 2 of the greatest names in sports, Peyton Manning and Kobe Bryant, retiring within 2 months of each other.
That's so true.
So it's a big year for sports. And like I said, it's emotional. And I think I think people respect that they're making the decision to be like, okay, like I've served my time. I've done my duty. And they've gained such a respect and really prestige in the world of sports. And I respect them a lot for
definitely. What do you think this means for the Lakers now that Kobe's gone? Do you think that has an effect on them or anything?
You know, I think they're going to have to rebuild. I think they have a lot of young faces right now. And obviously there's going to be a gaping hole without Kobe in the lineup. But I think it's going to be a rebuilding phase for them, and they're going to need to really put in the work, the younger guys who just came up this season, like D'Angelo Russell. But I'm excited. I'm actually personally not a Lakers fan. I'm an OKC fan. But I am a Kobe fan. I'm from LA. I've never been one to bandwagon.
All right.
But I have so much respect for Kobe that I have some loyalty towards the team, but I'm not gonna jump on the Laker bandwagon. I'm just gonna say that.
All right, I feel that. So let's talk a little bit more about Steph Curry.
Okay.
What do you want to see from his performance tonight? Do you think that he needs to take a back seat, let his team come through, or is he going to step up and really make sure that his team beats the Bulls record?
You know, Steph Curry, he's such a humble guy. And, I mean, he has almost as many assists as he does field goals. So him and Klay Thompson are just an absolute dynamic duo. And he's always passing the ball. He's always sharing with his teammates. And the synergy between the players on that team is incredible. So I'm excited to watch it tonight. I mean, Memphis Grizzlies, they don't.
Do you think that they are competition tonight?
They're not competition at all. I mean, it's not even a toss-up. So I think that it's going to be a fantastic game tonight. So, and I think they're not going to have a problem with getting that 73rd win.
That's awesome. I totally agree. Totally agree. So let's talk about Steph in the playoffs coming up. What do you think he's going to do to bring the team together and to really win? You know, he had a rough patch for a little while. They lost a few games. And what do you think that he is going to bring to the table in order to rally his team together?
Well, I think a rough patch for Steph Curry is not your
that
average
bad,
rough patch.
right?
So when he's breaking records every game for field goal percentage, three-pointers, and if they lose a few games, that's considered a rough patch for Steph Curry. But I think he just has to get back to the fundamentals. You know, he knows his shot, he knows his body, and I don't think he's going to have a problem bouncing back. He's one of the hardest working players in the NBA.
Definitely, and in my opinion, he's just one of the most fun players to watch.
Absolutely.
That's why when we are comparing the two, Kobe versus Steph, that's why I picked Steph.
Yeah, no, I get that.
He's definitely one of the most fun players to watch, definitely the most versatile, and he's just always entertaining.
Yeah, for sure.
So. Well, that's all we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Elaina Emery with DJ Thompson, and we'll see you next week.